Okay, welcome to the Guitar Show, and also, what's your channel?
James Oliver Guitar Channel.
Yeah, we're gonna be putting this on both channels, and so I'm gonna do my introduction first. James, this is James Oliver, who is he's quite the fella, and he's a red hot guitar picker. Okay, that's the biggest accolade I can give anybody, a red hot guitar picker. Okay, you can introduce me if you want to. I mean, I don't know if you can introduce me. There's not much to say about me, but
Well, this is Ramon Goose from the Guitar Show. A fine musician and a fine man.
oh, that's very kind of you. Very kind. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said about me, you know. Okay, so today, guys, we're going to be talking about Telecasters. It's all about the Telecaster. It's not about us. It's all about the Telecaster and just everything, really. And we're going to free flow, and we're just going to... So, at the moment, I've got in my hands one of my favourite guitars. It's a beautiful green colour. And this is really a 60s Tele with the Honduras rosewood neck. And it's, steel. It's got actually a Glendale steel, stainless steel bridge and stainless saddles. And this is, I'm really kind of liking the 60s thing. And I know a lot of people change these saddles to brass. What's your opinion on that?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't know. I'm the sort of person, if I like it, I just sort of leave it as it is. I never... Obviously, I've changed the pickups on this guitar, which is my main gigging guitar. But
Okay.
I never change bridges or anything, really.
Well, because for me, like the 60s sound of a Tele, I really, that kind of Michael Bloomfield sort of blues sound. But, especially in the middle position. You get that really... And then you got a lot of chime. You got a lot of chime on the back pickup, so that's what I really like about the 60s. But I guess the Blackguard, is the starting point. But tell us about your guitar, James.
Well, it started life as a Fender Mexican Ventera Telecaster, I'm quite lucky that I've got quite a few vintage guitars. I've got a real 63 Tele and some custom shop Teles, etc. But I'm a big fan of a guitar player called Mick Green, who played in a band called the Pirates.
Right.
Sort of like sort of a punk rock and roll band, so to speak.
That's what I first... Can I just say, sorry to butt in here, James. When I first... Because, guys, I first caught sight of this young fellow on social media. And what I really liked about you is you kind of mix a bit of punk in with this kind of rockabilly. And does that come from Mick? Is that a Mick Green thing?
Basically, I just got that. I like playing fast. I don't know why. I just like playing fast.
Why
And
not?
I like playing songs fast. I like playing fast. And Mick always used a Telecaster.
Are you taking any drugs or anything, James?
No, I'm teetotal.
Right.
I am completely teetotal.
Just hyperactive.
Maybe, but Mick played the Telecaster Custom, which is what this is, and for many years I played a Fiesta Red 61 Strat. So Fiesta Red is my favorite color.
Yeah, the Hank Marvin sort of thing, isn't it?
Knopfler sort of, even though he's not Fiesta, it's close enough, isn't it? So I walked into a guitar shop and I seen the Fiesta Red Telecaster Custom. So to me, it was Mick Green and it was red like the Strat.
So show us this guitar. It's really interesting. What is it? Is this a Mexican?
Well, it's a Fender Ventera series, but I've modded it a bit.
So what is this based on? Was there ever a model like this in the...
Yeah, it's based on a 70s Telecaster Custom. They started making the customs in 72.
Right, so this is kind of like the Keith Richards. Remember he had that black one.
Correct, but to me it's always been Mick Green. But there's a clip of Keith, and I can't remember what song they play, but he's battering something over the head with one. So they are really good weapons. And
so why did you gravitate towards this guitar and you got these vintage Teles? Why play this one?
Well, I used to do pre-COVID about 250 gigs a year. Sometimes, I used to hit 270, and
you do more gigs than you do more gigs than Sting. You do realise that, don't you?
I didn't know Sting did any gigs anymore.
Oh, he gigs more than anybody, but not.
Never.
No, before COVID, he was doing hundreds. He's been gigging for the last since the 80s. He's gigs more than anyone.
But it was sort of, it come to a point where I couldn't really afford to replace the vintage stuff because it's just gone so expensive to even what I paid for it when I bought them. So I just wanted a Rode guitar.
Right. And just because talking about neck, what do you like in neck profile? I mean, this is my ideal.
Well, this is a 7.5. And it's not really skinny. And I don't like the flat radius. I like a bit of a curve on it, you know.
Is that 12-inch radius, 10-inch?
No, 7.5.
This is as well. This is 7.5.
Yeah.
That's, you know, the thing about a 7.5 radius, so 2.5 or whatever it is, you have to really have a great setup because otherwise what you find is it chokes.
Oh, okay.
You know, with a 10-inch radius, a guitar, you know, it can bend easier. But on a 7.5 radius, because of the curve, when you bend up, sometimes... Can I play yours? Bend the string, James. So did you? Did you get that?
It doesn't choke.
Did you get that set up? Did you?
It does say.
So do you set these up yourself, these guitars, or do you get somebody else?
No, there's a guy called Dave Durnley. He's like the master luthier, you know, to me, and he does all my stuff. But I've never had this guitar set up.
Right, where's he based? This guy.
Dave's based out of Cardiff, and he's a great Telecaster maker. He makes lovely acoustics, and he's a fine guitar player himself as well.
Brilliant. So you're kind of you were based a lot in Wales growing up. You were playing a lot in Wales, weren't you?
Yeah.
Around the scene in Wales. I mean, I didn't really know. I always knew there was a Cardiff Blues Festival, and I used to play in Barry a lot. You know, place called Barry.
that was for Mike Duggan. Mike's a really good guy, a good supporter of the of the music, you know.
Yeah, so guys, if you're in America, Wales is a beautiful place. Lots of castles there, and the home of Richie Burton and Tom Jones, right? You know Richie Burton?
Yeah,
actor.
Of course.
He's passed on, but Tom Jones.
Dylan Thomas?
Who?
Dylan Thomas?
Yes, and you know, so it's a very historical place. It's beautiful. There's lots of green fields and hills, valleys. Yeah,
sheep.
And we won't talk about the sheep. I don't know why you brought that up, you know. So anyway, back to Telecaster. So I've got lots of different flavors of Tele. So this is my 60s Tele, and I really like this. And what I was saying to you, James, is I like to keep all of this steel because, you know, I know a lot of people change these to brass, which they were used in the 50s. But I think if you've got a 60s kind of Tele style, it's nice to have steel saddles because then it sounds like a 60s guitar. And I just love that 60s Tele sound, you know. It's very different from the Blackguard sound, you know.
It is, I agree.
You know. So let's have a look. I just want to show you this other one that I've got. So what neck pickup have you got in there?
Well, it should have a pattern. Sorry, it should have a Cephalova wide range humbucker. That's what it's supposed to have. But a company called Lambertone has sent me a PAF. So I got a PAF in the neck, and I've got a Joe Barden, Danny Gatton in the bridge. And I'd say that the Joe Barden, Danny Gatton's probably my all-time favourite for the Telecaster pickup. I just think it's got that real, you know, that... You know, it got that real twang to it.
Can I have a look at the bridge pickup?
Yeah, it's the Joe Barden, as you can see.
So that's the double rails, isn't it? The Joe Barden.
Yeah, and it's what's in the Danny Gattons. And of course, then with this, you've got the Barden mixed with the PAF, which gives a like a.
Because this is an interesting thing. I don't tend to use the middle position that much. I'm not a massive fan of the middle. Sometimes I do, but especially with this guitar here, I either like it on the gold foil or on the bridge. So, you know, do you tend to use the middle position more on a Tele?
Well, to be honest with you, on a gig, I tend to use the bridge all the time. You know, for that sort of like. You can get all that.
Yeah.
But say I'm doing sort of if I'm doing like a jump blues, you know, they're like I do like the middle, and
Yeah.
I probably use the neck pickup on a gig once.
Really, we're kind of opposite. I mean, because especially for sorry, if I'm playing like a jazz.
Yeah.
I really like having the neck pickup on a telly is amazing for playing jazz.
I sort of use it for like if I'm going to do a like a sort of a blues thing. I mean. But I mean, it is a nice sort of jazzy sound. I mean, I can't play jazz, but it's...
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great guys like Tim Lurch. Is it Tim Lurch? He's sort of a big fan of his YouTube channel, and just the way he gets some beautiful sort of Ted Green and Ed Bicknell. Now, this has got flat wounds on it, so this means it's almost like, it's got flat wounds, and I'm on the neck, a little bit rolled off on the tone, and it's really surprisingly the sort of jazz sound you can get out of it. And then you can flick down to here, and you've got the... you can get the more sort of chicken picking thing happening, and that's what's the great thing about telly,
With the middle sound,
yeah,
it's sort of nice for like when you do rolls, like and all them open string things.
Yeah. James, can we just see you a little bit? Can you bring the camera down just a tiny bit, just so we can and just show us what you were doing there.
You can edit out that bit, can't you?
No, I'm not going to edit. This is in my channel.
Oh, you got to edit it. That was terrible.
No. In my channel, we keep it real. This is one take.
All my bad playing mistakes.
Yeah, we keep it real, man.
So I find like if we do a roll on the bridge, I quite like doing the rolls in the middle there. All that sort of.
That's fantastic, yeah. So that's kind of almost a banjo. It's kind of like a banjo sort of style.
For some reason, I prefer in the middle to the. Do you know what I mean? But
it works. It works in that context. It really does.
This sound or this, it cuts through. And I like.
Yeah.
I like the cut-in sound of it.
It's nice. I mean, this is kind of weird because this has got the gold foil, and so the individual in between sound. I mean, it's pretty lush.
It's lovely.
I mean, I should really. It kind of works, yeah. It's just that I guess for my style, maybe more for the African sort of stuff I do, I'd use it with world music stuff, but not really for, because I'm either doing the jazz thing, the jazz blues sort of, or that kind of vibe, yeah. So let's talk about strings and action, because this might be useful for people. Yeah. So what about action? What are you having? What is your action?
As low as it'll go without choking out.
That's the same as me. That is the same as me.
But you can still play slide with this low action, I find.
Right.
10 to 46.
10 to 46, right?
You know.
That was kind of like a Rory. I think Rory Gallagher had pretty low action on and small strings on his Telecaster that he used for slide, you know. But
Yeah.
for me, I'm the same. I have like with my slide guitar, I have 12s and higher action. I know you have.
Well, I have
Telecaster.
on my Guitarist, I got 12 flat ones, high action.
Yeah, but on this,
doing...
this is the trick because you know I play some people's guitars and they have high action. I don't. I have as low action as I possibly can, but I have 11s. You know, I play 11s. But I keep the action low. That's really the trick for me to play the bigger strings is having...
I just got this thing of why work harder than you have to?
I literally, with my hands, they're quite fat. I don't know if you can see this. I've got fat hands. You know, chunky fingers, you know?
I got a fat body and thin hands, I have.
you got thin fingers.
I have, but I got fat body.
Well, you know, I mean, so you know, it doesn't matter. It's just, you know, who cares? Who cares what?
Yeah.
It's whatever works, you know. But
exactly. I mean.
But so this is another question.
Go on.
This is another question. Right. Okay. Legato, staccato. We were talking about this the other day, weren't we? Legato and staccato. So one thing with me is when I was learning guitar. My whole thing was like playing scales, and I never really knew why, but I was into Aldo Meola and all those kind of guys, and I wanted to learn theory because my twin brother, identical twin brother, is an amazing jazz bass player, so I wanted to kind of play with him jazz, you know, and so I learned the modes, you know, I learned the modes and all that stuff, but in doing that, I kind of worked out. You know, that I do alternate picking. So I basically pluck a note. And I know there's other clever guitarists which they do all the economy picking.
I don't do that either. I just play every note.
So are you the same as me? Are you kind of... Are you picking every note? Is that how you do it?
I'm not going to attempt to do it now because I haven't played yet today.
Right.
But
yeah, this is another thing. Yeah, you have to warm up. If
you look on my channel...
Yeah.
And all the fasty stuff I do, you know, I just pick every note.
Funnily enough, I cheated a little bit. I did actually warm up before we did this.
Well, to be honest, I've just got up.
I know. When I first contacted you, you were still in bed, weren't you?
Yes.
Are you lazy?
So that's the difference.
You're so lazy. Right, another thing. So that's really interesting. Is that, you know, picking every note, and is there anything you do to practice to warm up, or do you just play licks and stuff to warm up? Do you play any scales?
Well, I mean, I just have a little noodle about, you know, like I might go. Oh, the sound is off now. I don't know.
Can we see that? Can we see that, James? Can we see?
Oh
that?
yeah, sorry. Here we go. You know, I might do like a. Just practicing, you know, the major scale.
Right.
Oh, yeah, etc. You know, I just play stuff like that. You know, like the I don't know if I would play it now.
And James, come back, James.
I'm back.
Come back. How do you hold the plectrum? Because when I first started playing guitar, I held it like Hendrix. I think Hendrix holds it like that.
I just hold it like that. I never.
And then I changed it to this.
Oh, I
changed it.
Like I've never thought about such things.
Well, you know, that's I teach guitar, so I guess.
I suppose. I just sort of hold it and I hybrid pick all the time.
Yeah, and this is another thing, hybrid picking, because you know people like Eric Johnson and Albert Lee do this to great effect, and so do you. But that's something that I really like, sort of.
Yeah.
That it's a really good thing to be able to, because you can kind of almost.
Well, that's what I like it for.
You know, can you just demonstrate?
You know,
can you demonstrate something?
For that sort of. For that sort of thing, or as I did earlier, the rolls, you know.
Yeah. So that's another thing, you know. And that works really well on the telly, doesn't it? Just got the right spank for the.
I use a thumb pick sometimes.
Use your thumb pick, really? Ah.
Yeah, these Fred Kelly thumb picks. See, they got like a little
Yeah.
little end on them.
Let me show you my favourite ones. That's interesting. I'll have to get one of those ones. I don't have any to hand.
I have got another one, but I can't remember the name of it.
Check this one out, James. Look, this one here's my favourite. These are amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. These are. I think Raikuda uses
Hugo.
these. Yeah. Well, Raikuda uses these.
I find it hard to do stuff like that with a thumb pick.
Yeah, because what I found with this one here though is because you know the old ones, these ones here,
the Dunlop ones, yeah.
Yeah, I can't because the great thing about this is the great thing, guys, is this one here you can actually hold it like a plectrum, so you can.
My mate Paul Rosser, he gave me one of these, but I can't remember who makes them. See them? So they're like that.
Sort of. Oh, wait a minute. Let's have a look. That looks like a custom-made thing. Wow, that's incredible.
Expensive, yeah, I think. Yeah. My mate Paul gave it to me, and that's like a full-size plectrum. So you can hold it like a plectrum and play, but you can also play, as you wish. So, and you got like a snap-on, like a,
Yeah, that's really cool. That's great. So let's. I mean, unfortunately, I can't play this telly today because what's happened is, it's really reactionary to the temperature because the neck isn't sealed. It's just got gun oil on it, and and for some reason the action's gone haywire. So I've got to lift the action up. It's literally unplayable. It happens. But this thing is a monster. It's got. I've kind of built this out of an MJT body, and the neck was made in the Middle East, handmade with Brazilian board and flame maple. And this has got diamonds. And so what do you think? My question to you is, what do you think about diamonds in the telly? Because I love them.
Well, I've got the Telesonic.
You got the Telesonic?
Which I can't get to at this point in time because it's piled up over there. But I think they're great because to me, my favourite sounding Gretsch is Cliff Gallup on the Gene Vincent records playing his Gretsch Duo Jet. Yeah. So to me, you get that because it's you get that great Gretsch sound, but you can play a telly.
That's right, yeah. So,
but I'd like to show a telly. Now.
Okay, please do, James, please.
Right now, Dave Durney, who I mentioned earlier, builds Telecasters, and this is Dave's Blackguard replica. He calls them Taft Delta, and this is the.
Could you go back and just have a look at that headstock? And
it says Durney Guitars Wales.
Wait, don't move the guitar. Thank you. Okay, it's just because it goes fuzzy.
And as you can see, it's a nice Blackguard.
Is it relic?
And it's got.
Is it relic?
Pickups by Spencer, the Shed Pickups. Swamp Bash is super duper light.
James, is it relict?
Yes. But some of the relic is by me from gigging it. Because it's like it was my backup guitar for years.
And how much are they going for?
I think they've charged about £2,000 for them.
Wow.
But of course, you go down there and you can pick your wood.
Yeah.
And you can
amazing.
You can pick whatever you want. I've also got, talking to Telecasters with Bigsby's, this is sort of the spare for the gigs. See, it's got 2 Joe Bardens in it.
2 Joe Bardens. So what is this model? Who made this one?
This is the JV Squire.
It's a JV Squire. What year?
It's an 82.
An 82. Amazing.
As you can see.
Right. That's beautiful. Yeah. I mean, well, George Harrison played a JV Stratocaster.
He did.
Can I just
say, there's a great British, well, not British, Welsh guitar player, Mickey G.
Mickey G, yeah.
And he played all the Shakin' Stevens records, and he played the JV Squire too.
Hold that thought. By the way, this is Carina.
No way, is it?
Yeah, this is Carina. This is a beautiful sounding instrument. It's Carina. So let's talk about Shakin' Stevens.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, Julie.
I'm not going to try and sing any.
No, not Last Christmas. What's the Christmas song he did?
I don't know, but it's like
He's great though. I love Shakin'
You
Stevens.
drive me crazy, Green
You drive
Door,
me
innit?
crazy. Yeah, I mean Shakin' Stevens. He was like the kind of Elvis, Cliff Richard of the 80s, wasn't he?
Yeah, 70s. But for years, he was in a band called The Sunsets and doing like rockabilly stuff for donkey's years before he made it big. Like,
Yeah, I mean, if anyone, I mean, how can you not like Shakin' Stevens? It was a bit cheesy, but it was amazing at the same time.
but the guitar solos were incredible.
Yeah, the guitar solos were, I don't think that guy gets enough credit. And he's good. He's good. I like Shakin' Stevens. Good songs. Green Door.
Yeah.
He got in the charts. Look, I mean, you got to hand it to Shakin' Stevens. He got in the charts in the 80s with 50s kind of rockabilly music.
I agree.
So anyone that can do that, you got to take your hat off to them. This is my Blackguard. It's in a state of disarray. I was going to ask you a question. So what I'm going to do is change this plate. This is a Goto plate.
Right.
And some saddles. So any ideas? What should I do?
I think you should have just with do you know, like on the Durnley, see them saddles?
Yeah, what are they?
I don't know. Mr. Professor, I don't know. But
you just play them, James. You don't talk about it,
Well, I mean...
You just play it.
I just like playing them.
Yeah.
But actually...
something like that, maybe. Brass. I need brass on here. I need some brass.
Red Volkart was telling me, right, that he thinks the Telecaster pickups... See, the pickup goes that way. Like that. Goes up like that way.
Yeah.
He thinks it should be the other way round. So... That's on the high strings.
He might be right,
No, well, his feeling was you get more oomph on the high strings and more twang on the low strings.
The trouble is though, this is the Tele sound, so you can't really mess with it, even if it is wrong.
Yeah, but he has got a point, I think.
He's got a point. Oh, he's definitely got a point. But this is my Blackguard. This is a £3,000 instrument. When this is working up and running, there's nothing that can beat a Blackguard Tele. It is just the ultimate. Don't you agree?
I do, and I would like to own a real one day.
And why is the Blackguard so good? Why?
Well, I mean, it's just that thing, isn't it? Danny Gatton and Roy Buchanan, Roy Nichols,
Ted Green,
so many, Keith Richards, so many great players. Why do they play a Blackguard and not a custom shop, or even a Squire like Raikuda?
Well, this is why I made this, because obviously there's a Telecaster, so I was thinking about another guitar called a Goose Caster.
Right.
Have you heard about the Goose Caster?
Yeah.
Well, this is the Goose Caster. So instead of making my Telecaster out of a Strat like everybody and his auntie is currently doing, I thought I'm going to...
Sorry, like this.
Exactly, yeah. So instead of doing one of them, which is a fine-looking instrument, by the way, I thought I'd get a Blackguard. Obviously, I've changed it to blue, but make a Telecaster into a Goose Caster, which is basically essentially a Telecaster version of it. And I've got to say, because this is like the classic 41.5mm neck width, it's amazing. It's incredible for slide. It's just, the slide tones are... It's just beautiful, and you can play it. Okay, you don't have the width, because I know that Raikuda's guitar is probably 43mm, I'm guessing.
Right.
And this is 41.5. So, but you have the advantage of you can get your thumb over there.
It sounds like Cuda to me.
Yeah. So I just really like it. I like the Blackguard as a slide guitar. I think it's just fantastic. And there's so many. It's such a versatile. Telecaster in general is because do you ever go out with your Strat?
Well, I did for years, but I thought of someday, before the pandemic, I used to think, I think I'll take a Strat today, and then it comes to the gig, and I sort of chicken out, and I just take a Telecaster.
Right. Yeah, because the Tele is a king, isn't it? I always said to myself, I said, when I get old, I'm in my mid-40s now, but when I get old, I'm just going to play Teles. That's really like the kind of grown-up. You're on your rocking chair on the veranda, and it's a Telecaster that you're going to play, isn't it? Because you can literally just plug this into an amplifier. You can plug this into
And it does the trick.
a tweed amp, yeah, and with one cable, and that's it. Let's talk about effects. What are you taking to effects? Sorry.
Well,
Let's talk about effects. What are you taking to a gig in terms of effects?
a JHS Milkman.
What is that?
JHS is they're the, I think well I think
I know what JHS is, but what's a Milkman?
It's a two pedals in one, and it's a clean boost,
Right,
and a slap back echo.
Oh, really?
Which is all I need.
So you don't actually use an overdrive pedal; you just use a boost.
Sometimes I take a Timmy, the Paul Cochran Timmy pedal.
Really good pedal, yeah.
Yeah, and a Boss tuner.
And that's it.
The amp has got tremolo if I want tremolo, and I don't use reverb, and that's it.
You don't use reverb?
No, I'll show you my pedal board now. Hang on a sec.
Okay.
It's just here. This is the pedal board. Look at that.
Okay, guys, check this out. You guys with big, huge pedal boards, let this be a lesson. This guy here, James, does 300 gigs a year with just that pedal board. He proves that you don't need a lot of pedals.
Can you see that?
Guys. Look at that.
And that's it. And some days I think that's too much.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. And you're this is great that young fellas are doing, are going, you'd think it would be the opposite, whereas the older chaps would be using less pedals and the young guys would be using, all this computer stuff, whereas James...
They're all on Kempers, man, the kids. The youth of the day, they're all on Kempers.
Kemplers, yeah. Well, yeah, what do you think about Kemplers? What's your view on Kemplers?
I use one on my EP just to do some overdubs.
Right.
And I think they have their place, but why would you want a Vox AC? I mean, this is quite. I don't want to offend anybody by that now. But why would you why have a Vox AC30 preset when you can have a Vox AC30?
Yeah, because I mean, you think about it. Well, I guess the argument is you have a Kempler, it has a shed load of effects, but you still need a cabinet with it, don't you? Unless you're going to plug it into a PA. And if you're going to take a cabinet with you, then you've got a cabinet and a Kempler. It starts to get pretty big. You might as well just take a Fender combo with you. I don't understand that.
Well, if someone said to me, right, you either use a Kemper or you can't play, I'd have to retire.
Yeah, I'll be with you, yeah. I mean, my response to this whole, small kind of rig thing was the projector amps that I use, which is, you can see one right there, but in that thing there. And so they're small little things. They're 10 watts, and you can put one in. You can put it in an ammo can, which I have. I have a spare ammo can that I sometimes put it in, and then I've got a tiny rig, which is smaller than a Kempler. So I've got a real tube amplifier, point to point, 50 hand wide, and it's smaller than a Kempler. So the excuse of I take a Kempler because it's small, I'm not buying that.
Well, I tend to take a deluxe reverb.
Great amp. And you got this tatted old Vox AC30. What's the story with that?
Well, it belonged to there's a real great Cardiff guitar player called Pete Matheson, and he played with lots of people, Ray Davis, etc. And he's a wonderful blues player. Yeah. And he was selling it. I don't know why. And I saw it, and I thought I have to have it, so I bought it off him. And the first gig I done with it was a gig in Neath. And Neath,
Pardon?
It's a place with old.
What's that called? Where did you?
Neath. Neath. Neath.
Is that in Wales?
In Wales.
Right.
And the bloke came up to me and went, "All right, what? Do you think I'm about to skip?"
It does. It looks awful, but don't change it, please, because it.
No, I'm not going to. I think but it sounds amazing. But it's just too loud. It's too loud for a pub gig.
Yeah.
It's too loud for a stage gig because obviously they're gonna mic it up.
Yeah.
So for me, the ultimate amp is a deluxe reverb, which is that 22 watts a deluxe, 20 watts, something like that.
Yeah, 22 watts. Yeah.
And it's perfect, I think.
Is that an original? Is that an original?
No, it's just a bog standard. Now I love vintage guitars.
Yeah.
But I'm not really an amp guy.
Right. You just, this is the thing with, this is the thing with my amps. I mean, I have essentially 4 amplifiers, 2 Dumble style things and 2 projectors, and I'm not really bothered bothered about owning old stuff. I mean, old stuff is great, but then you're gonna have to repair it and keep it maintained.
I mean,
It is good. It is good, but
it is good. It's great, but
yeah, you got to. I think if you're gigging a lot, you got to be able to turn up at a concert and be able to plug into whatever there, even the PA, because sometimes it's going to happen. Sometimes it's going to happen.
Well, I mean, I've done gigs with my amp gone pop, and I've had to go in the PA all night. I mean, it's not pleasant, but it does the job, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think if you rely, if you rely on effects and amps and all this stuff to get your sound, then one day you're going to come a cropper, you know.
But you know, it's like in the house, I only use a champ. I got a 70s Silverface champ, and every video I do on the channel. When I played a bit for you now by it's all this champ, and that's one of my favourites. Just a bog standard Silverface champ. Yeah,
well, they recorded Layla on that, didn't they? On one of them.
Well, I tell you what, I couldn't believe how expensive they've gone. I give like 200 quid for mine, and now they're like £500-600. I just can't go over it.
Oh, everything's gone up. I mean, that Selma, you had this old Selma amp, didn't you?
Yeah.
Which I wanted to take off you, but somebody else got there first.
Yes.
So, okay.
But again, great amp, but I was frightened of it because it used to make funny noises, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing. James, okay, so let's just, I just wanted to speak a little bit about you. So you last year, if this is okay to talk, we can take this out of the video if you're not happy with this.
Yeah.
Last year you won the Blues Award, didn't you?
I did,
best?
For the,
what was it called? The best?
No, the Emerging Artist of the Year.
And you're up for the same award again, or what's this?
No, this year is the best use of digital media in lockdown sort of thing. Because I started the channel, didn't I?
You did, yeah, you did indeed.
March last year, and now it's February this year, and it's doing okay, you know.
So how many subscribers have you got now?
16,000.
Oh wow, that's good gracious me, that's a lot, isn't it? And this caused a little bit of controversy, didn't it? Was there a bit of controversy? Don't know if you want to go into that a little bit.
Well, I don't really know.
Okay.
Because I'm frightened what I might say.
But anyway, you ruffled a few feathers, but I think you got my vote. You got my vote anyway, and but I think you've done really well with the social media thing, and you work tirelessly with it. You know.
Well, it keeps me sane.
It keeps you sane, but you've also, I mean, you know, some of your videos they've got like 100 and over 100,000 views. You know, some of them
are, and some of them have got 20. Some of them got 20 views. Some of them got 100,000. Just the way it goes.
And what is your plan with the what is your kind of plan with the YouTube? How do you know, what is it that you're trying to do with it? What's the whole point?
The original plan was I was going to do YouTube for 3 months. Because I put like classic rockabilly, rock and roll, and country guitar solos. They're like my 20, 30-second clips. I do guitar reviews, amp reviews, pedal reviews, and I do videos about vinyl LPs. It's all roots music based, rock and roll, blues, country, western swing, rockabilly, a little bit of jazz, blues. Right, yeah. And I was going to do this for 3 months, and then the pandemic was going to be over, right?
Yeah.
And then I was going to go back doing 5-6 gigs a week, and then I would post the odd video now and again. But of course, it didn't plan out like that.
So you just continued relentlessly.
Well, no, because we haven't gone back to gigging. So what I think I'm going to do...
No, but I love this. I love the fact that nobody works harder. I mean, you every day there's a new video. Every day.
I try and post every day, you know. Yeah. Even if it's just a 30-second clip of a crazy Cavern guitar solo, you know. There's something on there. There's something new every day.
And another question is, sometimes when you're playing these guitar solos, are they all just improvisation on that kind of theme, or are they actually note for note, or is it a bit of both?
It's sort of it's a little bit of both. I mean, I'd say it's 80% note for note, then it's 20% I might add in something that you shouldn't do it, maybe. Excuse me. So I've been told by people it's wrong, but it's only a bit of fun. And I mean, a lot of the artists who I've done stuff of have contacted me and said how much they enjoyed it. I even done. I did one. I'm a big fan of a guy called Ronnie Dawson,
Ronnie
and
Dawson.
I done
Who's
a
he?
Ronnie Dawson one, and he's passed away. Ronnie, but
Right.
his guitar player put a comment on. I think you played that solo better than me, which I thought was quite funny.
Oh yeah. So yeah. Well, it's always nice to connect with sort of well-known players via the YouTube thing. And who are your sort of favorite channels? Who are your say 3 favorite YouTubers guitar wise?
This is quite hard now. This is
Come on, be bold.
Three favorites.
Don't hold back. Come on,
And that
James.
doesn't include yours, right?
Well, no, that's
I'm not going to say yours because
Okay, fair enough,
that'd be
fair
too cliche. That would,
I won't hold it against you.
Right. Let me think what I like now. I quite like Trogley's Guitar Show.
Okay, yeah, I've seen a couple of them. Yeah.
Yeah, he's quite an interesting guy, and I mean,
Mhm.
I don't watch his stuff for the playing.
Right.
I
Does he
just
play?
like how he.
Does he play? Does he play or just talk?
He plays a bit, but I like the side of him when he's taking stuff apart, when
Right. Okay.
really getting into the stuff. So
Yeah.
I like him. I quite like Tom Bukovac.
He's great. Yeah. He's a
Yeah,
he's
he's
a real
really-
deal. He's a real deal. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like Tom Bukovac's stuff.
Yeah. Fantastic.
I tried to. I mean, there's so many in there.
Yeah.
Help me out, you.
Well, I don't really watch. I don't watch a lot of. That's why I'm asking people because I don't really watch that many guitar YouTubers. I watch the rig rundowns. I watch Tim Lurch.
Oh, I love the rig rundowns.
I watch Tim Lurch and I watch Tony McKenzie and putting guitars together, and that's about it.
Well, I'm going for Trogley's Guitar Show, Tom Bukovac, and I do like Norman's Ray Guitar channel.
I love it when Sylvester Stallone's brother goes in.
And me. He's
hilarious.
You remind me of him.
Oh really?
I don't know
thank
why.
you.
You just do.
Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Yeah.
It's not an insult.
No. It's all good. If I wish I had Sylvester Stallone as my brother. Yeah. So no, it's been great hanging out with you, James.
Appreciate
and good luck with this this Blues Award.
Ah,
I think you deserve it because you've been really posting all over the shop on your social media.
I'm like a bad smell that don't go away.
No, it's it's music. People need music, and it's really good to see somebody in their 20s doing this kind of style of music. It's good that it's still alive and it's not dead. With the
Oh, it is. It's popular. There's a big old scene.
yeah, no, it's fantastic. So thanks for this hanging out. I'm not sure how this video's gone, but hopefully people will like it. We've talked a lot.
I
about
hope so.
Yeah, we've talked about some Telecasters, and I don't think there's anything more we can talk about really.
No.
Than we have, and I just want to say, can you say goodbye in Welsh to us?
No.
Can you say hello in Welsh?
Brother Da.
Ah, okay. How do I say that?
Brother Da.
Borada. That's what. Hello or goodbye.
Hello.
Hello, Borada. You don't know how to say goodbye in Welsh.
I can't remember. You put me on the spot.
Dear God, James.
I'm not fluent.
Oh well,
I can say Shemai, suck my tea. That's how are you.
And does your grandmother, does she speak Welsh?
No, nobody in my family does.
So who does speak Welsh then? Is it just some people in certain areas?
Well, it's more. I mean, it's taught in schools, compulsory in Wales.
Really?
Oh yeah, you have to go to the Welsh.
So what happened to you? You forgot it all.
No, I was in the. I don't know what to say. That's
We're finding it all out now, James. We're finding all about. No, I'm
I was in the special Welsh class for the ones who didn't want to learn it.
Just play guitar all day long, yeah.
Yeah.
Too busy
Think
on the
about
guitar.
guitars, play guitars, look at guitars, buy guitars.
Because you posted. I mean, this is the thing. You're 28 years old. 28 years old, yeah.
I am. I'm old now.
No, but you've got this incredible guitar collection. You've got these like vintage guitars,
I am. I'm very lucky. I know.
Yeah, And I know you said that you were lucky with good deals and stuff, but
Good
it's just,
deals, buying, selling,
yeah,
swapping.
it's so cool that you've got these beautiful instruments, and I think that you should have them because you do. How many gigs a year do you normally do?
No, 250, 270 I used to do pre.
Yeah, so who
pre-virus.
there's no one better owning these guitars than as you are doing 270 gigs a year. Yeah, I think it's right that a young fella in their 20s should have the access to these vintage instruments who's out there playing. I think it's
But I might
stupid,
I might
when
sell
it's
a
not.
pile
Right.
and buy the Blackguard.
Oh, really?
That's
that what-
but I've got to try a few first. I've got to
What do you think about that guy in Spain that's making them?
Nacho's incredible.
Nacho. Do you think they're good?
Incredible, yeah. I
'Cause
mean,
he did the
look,
book, didn't he? He did that great Telecaster book.
I've got the book here.
So, yeah, Julian Langer, the young jazz guitar player, he's got one of them, hasn't he?
I don't know, but to me, like Red Volkart is one of my all-time heroes, and that man knows Telecasters. He's owned them all.
You interviewed him, didn't you?
He did a little thing on the channel, yeah.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, if Red thinks they're good with his experience of Telecasters, they're good.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
That's what I like about you is you're the telly man. You are the Telecaster man. That's
Yeah, but I don't even know the radiuses of them.
But you live in the Telecaster world. It's fantastic. It's good to see. And
Well, I've got 13.
13. I've got 6, 5 or 6. So you
But
definitely.
did Picasso have one color paint?
Did Picasso ever make any money?
I don't know.
I don't think he did.
Well,
He only sold one painting, and that was to his brother.
never.
Yeah, he only sold one painting, apparently.
It's the same with me and my LPs. I only sold one. That was to my man.
No, you sold loads. Don't lie about that. I know you sold loads. So yeah, let's just end this. Let's end this on your opinion. Any other young artists in Great Britain that we should know about that you sort of come across?
Now, this is stuff like this is hard because I don't worry I'm going to miss people out.
Yeah.
But
Don't
definitely Connor Selby, you've been on your channel.
Mm.
Connor
He's a great guitar player.
He's for that Les Paul.
Mm.
He's a student.
He's kind of like you with the tellies and your rockabilly.
He's a student of his art. He is,
Yeah, and Connor with the Les Paul and the Clapton blues breaker thing.
Yeah, it's great.
I like it how you're both. You're just doing that one thing. It's good.
There's a friend of mine. He's from Cornwall. He is, but he lives in Germany. His name is Brandon Ashington, and he plays in a rockabilly band called Rampage, and he's great singer as well. What a voice he got, and great guitar player.
Yeah. Okay.
You put me on the spot now.
Who else do you like? Any young fellas or women that you think are worth checking out?
Well, Brandon, Connor. I can't think good now. What about you?
No. This is well. I'm not in touch with the youth. You are because I'm.
Well, I'm not either. It's 1957 in this house every day.
No, I mean, I listen to like Arabic music and Cuban music.
I don't listen to.
African,
I know it's terrible, but I don't listen to much modern stuff.
Right.
Really, I mean, my all-time probably favorite album came out in 1955, and I mean, I've got thousands of albums, right?
Yeah, I mean, no, there's always some great younger musicians.
Oh, there's some amazing players.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a guy in Cardiff. I don't know if he's in a band called Ruben Kingman. He's a great guitar player.
Right.
But I don't know if he's in a band, like. But there's so many of them.
I know we've got a friend. Just before we go, we've got a friend in common called Joe Cushley, haven't we?
Oh, Joe is the PR master.
Yeah, I knew him when he was a radio presenter, and he compiled this CD called Birth of the New Blues.
I've got that.
Really? Well, my first band was called New Blues. And he interviewed us and helped us and encouraged us way back.
He's
and
been very helpful to me too.
Yeah, he's a great guy, Joe Cushley.
Cushley, yeah.
Yeah, he does PR now. He's a publicist, but he's always involved in the scene, bringing. I think I did a gig once with one of the Dickinson brothers, Luther Dickinson or
Oh,
whatever.
okay. They're good,
Can't
yeah.
remember his name. Yeah, from North Mississippi All Stars.
Yeah.
And he knows all those guys, and he puts together compilations.
He's also got my 18-foot pirate. I've been the Pirates, a band who I talked about earlier.
Yeah.
I bought their stage backdrop.
I know that. That's crazy.
I don't know why I bought it. I don't know, but I had to
You're
have
crazy
it.
in a good way.
But Joe Cusley has got my 18-foot Pirates backdrop in his attic.
No. One day, when you're a millionaire from all these albums you're going to sell, you'll have a big music room and you'll be able to put that,
Well, I told my mother I'm going to drape it over the house.
Okay, well, let's wrap this up, James. It's been really cool hanging with you and finding it a little bit, because I've wanted to find out a bit more about you. I've been really digging your guitar style, amazing guitar player, red hot guitar picker. That's like the greatest accolade I can give any fellow guitarist is
I'm going to put it on my portrait.
Red hot guitar picker.
Appreciate it.
Okay, God bless. See you soon.
Ta-da.
All the best. Bye. Okay, so that's. Let me just.